Hello and welcome to mining.com.au. We are very pleased to be here at PDAC with Deputy Minister Abdulrahman Al-Belushi. Thank you so much for inviting us to meet today. I know our team previously caught up with you at the Future Minerals Forum earlier this year, but it's great to be able to catch up yet again. And
thank you for having me. Really
absolutely. And so let's talk about Saudi Arabia. So you've really emerged in the past several years as a globally competitive mining ecosystem on the world stage. Can you talk about what this global competitiveness really looks like for the kingdom?
Well, thank you, Amy, for starting off with this very important question. I think what Saudi Arabia brings to the mining sector is a paradigm shift of the way to look at it. We look at it as an economic play, not a fiscal play. So we see miners and explorers are to be protected and supported so that they can enable the industrialization of a country. I'm from the Ministry of Industry and Mineral Resources, and industry comes in first. So the mining sector is to support the national industrial strategy. And to do that, we've taken significant strides to make our mining ecosystem and our mining jurisdiction competitive compared to global jurisdictions. So I'm happy to share with you that actually 3 days ago, at the Fraser Institute, they shared their latest investment attractiveness index, and where Saudi Arabia have risen from 23 and back in 2024 report to now to become one of the top 10 jurisdiction globally for the mining sector. We scored the top in the tax regime metric. We scored the top in uncertainty regarding your mining code and the ability to implement that mining code according to your regulations. So we're really happy about this. It's a great signal to the market that Saudi Arabia is really doing what it promised to do to our investors, and we're hoping to continuously improve to make sure that we meet the supply chain requirements of the country.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's definitely no question in anyone's mind how quickly Saudi Arabia has really emerged as this kind of main jurisdiction that's really, the global ecosystem is really taking notice. You've positioned mining as the third pillar of your economy under Vision 2030. From your vantage point, what are some of the strategic gaps that you're prioritizing right now to accelerate this transformation?
Well, when you look at it in general, you see infrastructure was a significant focus of the sector last year, where we see last mile infrastructure to support miners, especially when it comes to water in the kingdom and energy, making sure that energy reaches that mine supply. So at the past Future Mineral Forum, we've announced our last mile enablement program with an initial transaction to support Jabal Sayed mine to get treated water. So the kingdom is supporting, the ministry is supporting building that water pipeline, building the treatment facility of tertiary water to take it to the mine to make sure that they will pay for that water as an OPEX rather than incurring all the CAPEX of the mine. Right. And hopefully we'll see that support replicating in future deposits and future mines that will be found in the kingdom. In essence, we see a lot of projects that can support data, land, and financing in the kingdom to make sure that we can find these new discoveries, find these new deposits. So then once you find them, you want to develop them as quick as possible.
Right. Okay, excellent. And so in terms of the kingdom's priorities, are you really looking at developing local homegrown companies, bringing in global investment or kind of global mining companies? Where are you kind of focused on?
Well, I mean, that's why we're here at PDAC, one of the greatest mining conferences. We have plenty of opportunities, plenty of exploration opportunities with our tendering grounds. So we have tender round 11, 12, 13, and then we're also sharing with our investors our plan for 2026 which is about 13,000 square kilometers, and our plans for 2027, which is another 20,000 square kilometers of mineralized belts at metallic and precious elements. But we also have lots of services opportunities. Today we've seen an agreement signed between a Saudi company and a drill bit manufacturing company out of Canada. We saw award of many exploration companies, and we see a lot of consultancies, mining consultancies that are actively working today with our mining players. Building a mining sector requires a lot more than just miners and geologists. It's really a full ecosystem of communication as well. You get the lawyers, you get the finance, and we see also a great addition recently to the mining sector where Orion Resources partnered with the Saudi National Bank and created a mining focus fund. Another addition is Verdigris with Energy Capital Group. They have another fund focused on services and industries, mineral industries in the kingdom. Hopefully we get a lot more traction with newer fund managers and with partnering with Saudi Capital to have focus funds to support this wave of developing the new frontier of global mining.
I mean, we've definitely seen a number of international fund managers and stuff, like such as Orion, moving over to the Middle East to set up regional hubs there and really kind of settle their finances.
Yeah, that's great, and we're looking for more and more institutional investments into the Saudi mining sector. And we are looking for world-class services to make sure that we meet and we accelerate the duration. We cannot have wait time in our geochemical analysis labs. We cannot have wait times for our airborne geophysical tools. We're looking at that entire duration from the start of exploration all the way to development, and we're trying to find ways to shorten that duration to make it faster, again to meet our industrialization requirement.
Yeah, it really does sound like a whole ecosystem approach, as you mentioned, that you're focused on. So you personally are quite involved with the Future Minerals Forum. Can you talk about maybe some of the top outcomes or developments that you've seen arising since this past one this year?
I quite enjoyed this 5th edition of the Future Mineral Forum this past January. The beauty about it is we've seen more and more diversity. More than 100 countries were represented in the ministerial roundtable. The number of participants above 20,000, but we're also getting more and more important participants. And the discussions and the conversations we've had were really about not only promotional and enhancing awareness, but it got to a stage where it's more of transaction. People really knowing what kind of opportunities that they're focused on, instead of coming into Saudi and then it's not their aha moment, or there's something going on. No, this time they came around, it's like, yes, we've been studying for 3-4 months. These are the opportunities that we're interested in. They already had partners. They started their discussion and conversation with these partners before coming to the FMF. So really the FMF was just a tool to finalize these transactions.
Great.
Where we see it coming into full maturity, if I may call it. And we're hoping that the 6th edition that's happening January 12th to January 14th of 2027 will be even better, and will cement its position as a global mining platform for action, not only for talk.
Absolutely. I mean, I can only see it progressing as it has been to date now. So really, just to wrap it up, looking at the year ahead, what are some of the important catalysts that industry stakeholders should be on the lookout for coming out of Saudi Arabia?
Well, we've tendered about 45,000 square kilometers worth of lands over the past about 3 years. We're tendering the 13,000 square kilometer now and 20,000 square kilometer next year. Round 11 is today open for qualification. The exploration enablement program is also open for companies to apply to it, where they get a $2 million reimbursable grant if they share their data. That grant will cover geophysics, geochemistry, drilling, and also some of their experts' cost. We also invite them to see the amount of services that are required from our major miners in Saudi, either Ma'aden, Hamak, Artar, which is golden minerals, and Ajlan and Bros fund, with also Al-Uthaym, including as well the Saudi Geological Survey. So we are hoping that we'll attract the best service providers, the best miners, and the best explorers to build a world-class mining jurisdiction.
Absolutely. Well, everyone's on the lookout to see what Saudi does next. And we definitely look forward to being back on the ground at FMF next year as well. So I want to thank you for joining us here today, and all the best.
Thank you. Looking forward to having you at FMF.
Thanks.